Hello everyone, and thank you for continuing to check in here. I wanted to talk a little bit today about your persuasive paper topic or paper and presentation. Choosing a topic is going to really make a difference in how easy or hard it is to complete the requirements for this paper. Basically, we know that you're going to want to do a lot of research, or you're going to want published research. So if you choose topics that either currently are or have been in the news, that's going to help a lot. There are other subjects that are just written about a lot. Human resources, things like time management, motivation, morale issues at work, turnover issues. All of those can be framed into excellent projects. So that's my first recommendation. The second is try to find a problem that you're going to be trying to solve. That's going to allow you to look at alternative points of view, which is kind of the central point of a persuasive paper. So, for example, let's say that turnover at my work has been really high. And admittedly, I might work at a small company, so there's not a lot of research on my company, but the topic will have lots of research. So I might look at my workplace and say, well, I think the reason turnover is really high is because morale is terrible. You know, it's difficult to work there. Management has unrealistic goals, or maybe they change their goals a lot. But to be sure, I'm going to do some primary research. So I'm going to do some sort of survey or something with the employees, and let's say there are 100 people at my work. I might decide that I'm going to try to reach all of them by sending an email to everybody's individual file folder, but where they can print it and submit it without being identified, because certainly with research we want to make sure people don't think there are going to be repercussions. That way you're going to get their most honest opinion. So I do my little survey, which is primary research, and I calculate it, and it shows me that 70% of the employees feel that there are morale issues. Maybe 15% think, one thing or another, but the bottom line is I start quantifying. And I probably sent out 5 questions or something in that range when I was doing my survey. So my paper might include what I considered as the problem statement. It'll address my primary research. Maybe I include a fabulous graph that illustrates, like a pie chart that shows the answers to some of these questions. And by the way, we now normally keep the detail in an appendix. So you're not going to take me through each and every question and all the data within the body of the paper. So by now I've clearly identified that there is a problem at work. And maybe I can even attempt to quantify the cost. Maybe the cost of turnover as a result of bad morale is $30,000 a year. And we figured that is in hiring and retraining costs or something to that nature. So I've got a quantifiable problem with real costs. So now I'm going to look to the research to find out how I might resolve that problem. And I'm going to look at again, morale. Sorry, I was thinking of another subject, but I'm going to look at morale. I might look at management training, or long story short, you're going to try to find problems that you think are matched to the root problem at work. And you're going to bring secondary research to show how doing some of these things will help to solve the problem. Ideally, you will then have a benefit, and that benefit might be longer employee retention, lowering of costs for training and hiring, broader skill base because people are staying. There might be a number of them. But as you look, you can see that I'm developing a paper that has multiple levels. So we're going to end up with 4 or 5, if you think about it in the context of an outline, 4 or 5 headers, if you will. And ultimately, I'm going to make a recommendation. So maybe I've come up with 6 solutions that might solve the problem, but 2 of them are cost effective and they're going to come a long way towards solving it. So I'm going to say of these 6, I'm going to recommend these 2. This is the anticipated cost, this is the anticipated benefit, and this is how I'm going to encourage you all to implement it. So these are the 3 steps. So that's basically the paper. I wanted to outline it so you could see the different variations for what you're looking for as you identify a topic. Other topics that you might look at, I mentioned 2 or 3 in the syllabus. I think I looked at Tim Cook and Apple. Other things you might consider would be the impact of politics on business, if you're more of a politician or you're interested in political science. Let's see. I always get things on social media, the impact of social media. Maybe the problem that you're going to identify is business isn't as good as you'd like, or you have the opportunity to make business a lot better, you think, by utilizing social media, to a greater extent. But, ideally the format is find a problem, prove that it is in fact a problem, provide alternatives, and recommend the best of those. Again, I'm very available to you all to help. If you have questions or you just want to help kind of hone in on a particular or a broad range problem and make it narrower, make sure you notice the limitations of the paper. It's not going to be a long paper. So you want a fairly narrow problem statement. I hope that helps. You all have a great day, and I look forward to watching your projects develop. Bye-bye.